Members and friends, also please wear your name tags so that folks know who you are. I've been in this church a lot of years, and even I struggle, so help each other out. I'm Tony Metters. My pronouns are what my name tag says, he and him. I'm pleased to be with you today as a worship associate. Please place your phone in worship mode. I better check mine. But feel free to check in on social media and let folks know that you're worshiping here today with us. All our children will remain in the service today. All voices are welcome here. The church life, there's a lot going on in church life, so I'm going to turn that over to Reverend Beth.
Thank you, Tony. And we have a weekly newsletter that comes out, News and Notes. It's by email on Fridays. If you don't get it and you want to, see us in the back and make sure we've got your information, and then you can be up to date. But I do have a couple of announcements that I want to share with you. I know that's small, but don't worry, because I'm going to read it. Maybe not the whole thing. We're very excited. The Green Sanctuary team and folks from the Social Justice Ministry are excited to let you know about two things that are happening. We're having a talk from the Climate Reality Project, which is the project that Al Gore founded, and that speaker is going to be here on the 21st, Sunday the 21st at noon. So all are welcome to attend. It ought to be a really wonderful presentation. There'll be time for questions. The following week, on Saturday the 27th, I'll be leading a workshop in what's called the Work That Reconnects. This is work that was developed by Joanna Macy, who's an eco-philosopher and activist and scholar. And her work has enlivened some folks here through a book of hers called Active Hope. And this gives us the opportunity to engage with the issues that are facing us that can cause us some despair and bring us to hope, remembering that thinking of hope is a verb. So I'm excited to be able to present this workshop. I've done it many times, and I'm very happy to be able to share it with the Green Sanctuary team and others from the Social Justice Ministry. So I encourage you all to attend. It's from 1 to 4 on the 27th, and look in News and Notes, and there'll be a place to sign up and to register. How does that sound? Sound good? I just would like to invite you to take a breath with me and arrive on this really beautiful snowy day, where there were little snowy balls on the top of bushes near my house, and they looked like decorations. There was a sense of quiet and peace when I came out of the house. My first big snow here in many years. So I invite you to just breathe in on this Sunday of the new year. First Sunday of the new year. And arrive to this time, in this place, with these people, where you are welcome here. Our service this morning is an exploration of love and belonging. Two needs that all humans, and I think all beings have. All beings. To love and to be loved and to belong. And so in the spirit of welcome, in the spirit of coming as you are, whoever you are, I invite you to rise, embody our spirit, and sing our first song, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Oh. be seated. I'm called into worship this morning with words by the Reverend Joan Javier Duval. You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week, or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth, you are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you're feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant, defeated, fearsome, or fearful,
you are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside, or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort,
you are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or are renewing your promises,
you are beloved, and you are welcome here. Whatever is on your heart, however it is with your soul in this moment,
you are beloved, and you are welcome here. In the space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, covenant and connection, let us worship together.
We light our chalice together, the symbol of our church and denomination, with these words. Please say with me. May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings. Mystery to the universe, to this community, and to each other.
Thank you, Tony. Multitasking is really hard, but I felt like it was really important for the chalice to be lit. Right at that moment, it couldn't have waited. I am going to go ahead and invite any children or young at heart to come up for our time for all ages. Hey, you guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to stay standing up so that everyone can see the pictures. Can you see the pictures if I hold them like this? Can you see them? Okay, I'm going to hold them up kind of high. Is that okay? And I guess I'm going to need a mic. You want to do something for me?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. It takes a village. This book is called Love. It's by Matt De La Pena, and it's illustrated by Lauren Long. In the beginning, there is light, and two wide-eyed figures standing near the foot of your bed, and the sound of their voices is love. A cab driver plays softly on his radio while you bounce in the back with the bumps of the city, and everything smells new, and it smells like life. Can you see? Here, you guys. Love, too, is the smell of crashing waves and a train whistling blindly in the distance, and each night the sky above your trailer turns the cool color of love. In a crowded concrete park, you toddle towards summer sprinklers while older kids skip rope and run up the slide, and soon you are running among them, and the echo of your laughter is love. On the night the fire alarm blares, you're pulled from sleep and whisked into the street where a quiet old lady is pointing to the sky. Stars shine long after they flamed out, she tells you. And the shine they shine is with love. It's not only stars that flame out, you discover. It's summers, too, and friendship, and people. One day you find your family nervously huddled around the TV, but when you ask what happened, they answer with silence and shift between you and the screen. In your dream that night, you are searching for a love that seems lost. You open and close drawers, lift cushions, empty old toy bins, but there's nothing. You wake with a start in the arms of a loved one who bends to your ear and whispers, "It's okay. It's okay. It's love." And in time, you recognize a love overlooked, a love that wakes at dawn and rides to work on the bus, a slice of burnt toast that tastes like love. And it's love in each deep crease in your grandfather's face as he lowers himself onto an overturned bucket to fish. And there he is with his grandpa fishing. I hope you can see some of these images. If not, I have the book and you can see it later. And it's love in the rustling leaves of gnarled trees lined behind the flower fields. And then she's laying in the flowers. Do you like to lay in flowers? Who likes to lay in flowers? Really? Who likes to lay in flowers, y'all? Okay, I mean, no pressure, but. And it's love in the made-up stories your uncles tell in the backyard between the wild horseshoe throws. And they're playing with their family. And that feels like love. Do you play with your family? How many of you play games? And how often does it feel like love? Even if it's competitive. And the man in rags outside the subway station plays love notes that lift into the sky like tiny beacons of light. Have you ever been at the subway or at the L station and somebody's playing music? They call that busking. I don't know. Such a gift to me when people stand there and use their gifts in that way. And in the face, staring back in the bathroom mirror, this too is love. So she's looking at her face. Do you know that when you look at your face in the mirror, that is love too? Yeah. So when the time comes for you to set off on your own, Heavy winds will sweep past your building, and great gray clouds will congregate above. Your loved ones will stand there like puddles beneath their umbrellas, holding you tight and kissing you and wishing you luck. It's kind of like when you went to school for the first time, or after the summer. Does your family stand around and say, "We love you," and give you kisses? She's like, no, I bet they do. And yes, Christina agrees. But it won't be luck you leave with, because you'll have love. You'll have love, love, love. Thank you, Timmy. Yeah. So we're not singing our kids out. If y'all want to go, you can stay right here on the floor. Absolutely, if you want. Do you have stuff to play with? You know, there's stuff in the back if you want to go get some things to do. If you want to stay right here, feel free. You're more than welcome. Anyone who actually feels like you need to lay on the floor, you go right ahead. All are welcome here. In writing about the book and about love, in the book that I just read, Maria Popova wrote, "What is love?" She writes, Kafka asked in contemplating love and the power of patience. After all, it's quite simple. He answered his own question. Love is everything which enhances, widens, and enriches our life, in its heights and in its depths. Love has as few problems as a motor car. The only problems are the driver, the passenger, and the road. Popova quotes, and then she writes, behind the comical quip lies a common strain of cynicism. One need not be as profoundly defeated by love as Kafka to default to this achingly human form of self-defense, for cynicism is, after all, a maladaptive coping mechanism when we feel threatened or disappointed. She likes to take a less cynical perspective and stands with J.D. McClathy, whom she quotes, "Love is the quality of attention we pay to things. Love is the quality of attention we pay to things." Popova goes on, and in those moments when the heart stands on the brink of breakage, I like to revisit Borges' timeless reflection on the nature of time, substituting love for time to produce a sentiment of equally exquisite profundity. Love is the substance I am made of. Love is a river which sweeps me along, but I am the river. It is the tiger, and I am the tiger. It is a fire which consumes me, but I am the fire. Perhaps, she writes, the truest and most abiding thing about love is that it means different things to each of us, and it presents itself in myriad guises. As the child or children in our book experience, love in surprising places, love in hidden places, love in ordinary places, love in dangerous places, love in the exchange between two humans or laying in a flower field. Where have you experienced love in your life? I invite you to sit with that question and let that question guide you as we experience our service together. As we imagine for ourselves and for our community and for our world a sense of belonging, a sense of love, even amidst everything that would tell us otherwise. Love is present here. I'm going to invite you to do something that will make you mildly uncomfortable. And you can do this and really not do it, because you can always look over the heads of people. But what I would invite you to do is just take a look around. If it were easier, I think I would have put the chairs in a circle today. Just take a look around and look at the people you're sharing this journey with. Yes, some people are waving. Yes, waving from the back. Yes. I love church. I love that. Keep greeting. I'll go. Oh, look. Aw, that touched me. I saw that. No. Maybe, yeah. Families greeting one another when they came in together. A father loving. And I know why we're in this configuration. But I do encourage us as we enter and leave and during our times in the service to pay attention. Because we come not as isolated beings, right? You could be watching on YouTube. Hello, people on YouTube. We greet you and I love you too. Truly, I do. But we come to be in community where we feel a sense of belonging and a sense of being held. And we will speak our offering this morning.
We gather each week to affirm our community, to affirm that together we are more than we would ever be alone, to affirm that we begin in love and embody belonging. We gather knowing that we will be seen, heard, known, and offer that to all who would find companionship with us. And we gather with the intention to share that love and bring belonging to our world. We share our offering as a living out of our values and as the spiritual practice of stewardship. I invite you to share these offering words. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with people around us, and with the world. We now gratefully receive your contribution. Thank you in advance for your generosity.
Thank you, Jamie. In a moment, we're going to sing our centering song. And I invite a breath as we sing it. And even though mostly for centering songs I don't have a stand, I think I'm going to invite us to rise for this song. There is more love somewhere. And as you rise, as you stand, if you're able, or in your seats, feel your feet on the floor and feel the song as a prayer, as an aspiration, as an intention, as we bring this intention into our time together. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and sing together. There is more song, love somewhere.
This is number 95.
Number 95. Oh, that one. In all honesty, there's a lot of love in this one. There's a lot of love singing that we're going to be doing, so. All right. Us stand. Y'all, that is an affirmation. Invite you into these words of reflection by Jan Richardson. A blessing called sanctuary. You hardly knew how hungry you were to be gathered in, to receive the welcome that invited you to enter entirely. Tentative steps became settling in. Do you remember that? The tentative steps in a new place. Whew. And then settling in. You began to breathe again. You learned to sing. But the deal with this blessing is that it will not leave you alone. The deal with this blessing is it will not leave you alone. Will not let you linger. This blessing will ask you to leave, not because it's tired of you, but because it desires for you to become the sanctuary that you have found. This blessing will ask you to leave, not because it is tired of you, but because it desires for you to become the sanctuary that you have found. We're in a sanctuary. We create sanctuary. We become sanctuary. And in this time in our service, we create a space, a sacred space, for people to share their joys or their sorrows, the things that are on their heart, that are bringing them joy, marker events, the big things in your life that either buoy you up and bring you joy, or that in sharing any sadness or concern, you know that it is held in community. So just a reminder that a pebble can be dropped in silence, and we'll go there now. And if you have something that you'd like to share, we invite you to do that.
This pebble is for the joy of yesterday that marked 45 years since Pat and I said, I do. Not, okay.
Go on.
All right. Yeah, but on the other hand, three years ago, it was not that happy because it was overshadowed by the events in Washington. Yeah. So January 6th is a day that has mixed feelings for us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
My name's Suzanne, and these two pebbles that I put in are for all the emergency room workers across the state of Illinois and around the United States. They're all overworked and tired with the increased rates of COVID, flu, and RSV, so bear with us. And the second one is for the patients that sit in the emergency room, waiting 10, 12 hours to be seen. You know, we're working as fast as we can. We're seeing patients in ambulances. Rooms in the hospitals are full, so we're unable to get patients transferred out. So we're holding ICU patients, we're holding med-surg patients, peds patients, and still taking the ambulances in. So if you're in the waiting room waiting, be patient. We'll get to you as soon as we can.
Hi, my name's Kevin. This is my husband Josh, and we're dropping a pebble in because we finally moved into our new place. The second pebble was for all of you for being our family.
It's hard to follow Joe and Pat, but on Friday, it was Janelle and my 44th anniversary, so.
I'm Tony. I'm celebrating a new chapter, almost a new chapter, but I'm counting down now with January 1st past, less than 1 year to retirement.
That's okay. Oh, no, be loud.
This pebble is for all the friends and family here in the church. I'm Beth Hensel from Denver, and I'm Pam Foder's sister, Jerry Shipton's daughter, and just wanted to say hello, and it's great to see wonderful faces, and I always feel love when I'm here.
Good to meet you. There was no doubt that that was Pam's sister. Not only the similarity in face, but the glow and the beauty and the love. For those joys and sorrows, those spoken and unspoken, will you hold with me a moment of silent reflection? Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Holy One moving in, through, and among us, knitting us together each to each in that thread of community. We pause before the next thing to acknowledge all that's been spoken, the celebrations, homecomings, the love that is shared among people and couples and in this congregation. We acknowledge sorrows, devastations, insurrections, occupations. We hold that alongside of the aspirations we have and the love that we feel and the possibility that we hold as a community to bring more love into the world, more peace, more hope. And yes, even, Holy One, more joy. Because joy is an act of resistance to all that would thwart life and love. As we move through this week, may each and all remember who and whose we are, knitted together each to each. And you, each of you, know this. You are always and everywhere held in love and mystery deeper than you can know. I'm good with that. Because that's how it goes sometimes. I invite you to hold space for whatever is with you in this moment. Having heard all that's been shared, watching the Google screen, wondering if the images are going to come up, but if not, we're all good. Ministry has taught me one thing. Life has taught me one. Here's an image right here. Hold that image up right there. There you go. We've got images. Oh, there we go. This is Gene, and he's amazing. Thank you, Gene. That's right. So we've shared joys and sorrows. We prayed. There's another song about love that I want to share with you. I'm going to give you some instructions in a minute. It's new. The choir has practiced it this morning. It's really a chant. And with all chants, let it sing you. I'm going to give you the words, and the choir is going to sing it through once. I will invite you to rise in body or spirit. Again, it's as much a declaration at this point. These are the words. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in that love. The next verse is there is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in that love. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit, and if the choir wants to sing it through once, they're going to sing the first verse once, then we're going to go back to the first verse, and if you all get it really quickly, you can join the choir in the first verse, and you can sing that twice. There. feel it? Seriously. Do you feel it? Do you feel? Oh, can I get an amen on that? If I got people yesing me, then I need an amen. Do you feel it, y'all? Yes, and amen. All right. Woohoo! This is the Unitarian Universalism I love. The Spirit-filled Unitarian Universalist that affirms yes to love at the center of all that we are, all that we do. Not a smarmy, sentimental love, not that there's anything wrong with smarmy, sentimental love. I feel like I always have to explain that to people because I'm not dissing love. I mean, really. Joe and Pat, Tony, I mean, Mike, all that love that love. I love that love. But this is what I say to couples that I know when they celebrate their anniversary. And I think I can say it to you. Happy anniversary, and your love is a blessing to the world. Because I think I know that the love that I see evidenced in your lives is because you have been in love, are able to take the love in your partnership that nurtures you, gives you strength, mirrors you in all ways, and then you bring that out into the world. Love begets love. So not excluding that love from our declaration that there is a love holding us. I belong to love. And I believe that you do too. I believe in the words of the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker, who penned the words of the song that we just sang. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in that love. We rest in that love. Dr. Parker also wrote, there is a love that has never broken faith with us and never will. In fact, I believe that we came from love, that we're here to love, we'll return to love. We're here to love we'll return to love. We're here to love ourselves, each other, the neighbor, the stranger, all beings, the earth, and beloveds, to love the hell out of this world. We belong to love. And the truth is that if we belong to love, then we belong to each other. Brene Brown wrote, when you get to the place where you understand that love and belonging, your worthiness is a birthright and not something you have to earn, anything is possible. Anything is possible as we imagine what love calls us to do and to be in this world. Belonging to love and belonging to each other means that we belong to everything in this interdependent world. Reality. It is the nature of reality, this interdependence. Different traditions, philosophical, scientific, religious, spiritual, characterize it in different yet similar ways. I think of this interdependence, this belonging, I see it in the story of Indra's net found in the Hindu and the Buddhist philosophies. We can see Indra's net as an interconnected web of countless strands, and at every intersection, there is a jewel drop of water, and that jewel drop reflects the whole. In my philosophical tradition and theological tradition, which is process philosophy, we see the universe just this way as well, as the plenitude of these jewel drops each holding the whole in just precisely the way the whole is reflected at the point of intersection. The image, to me, speaks of our belonging to the world. This earth, yes, but I mean the world, universe. And also, of course, then to each other. I'm going to invite you into a visualization of this net with words adapted from Rebecca Parker again. I didn't realize till I was putting this together how much I was bringing in Rebecca Parker. So you know she was the president of Star King School for the Ministry, our seminary in Berkeley. I was at our General Assembly, which is the annual meeting of the Unitarian Universalist Association that takes place once a year. And I had not yet gone to seminary, but I had a call to ministry. And I walked into a lecture that was being given. It was called the Star King President's Lecture, so Rebecca Parker was giving the lecture. And I was late. It was packed. And I walked in, and I walked to the front, and I just kind of slid down the side of the wall because I was just going to sit there. And some man was sitting in the front seat, front row, and he got up, looked at me, pointed to his seat, and there I sat. It just so happened that it was at this talk that Rebecca Parker shared these words. It was then that I knew I found my place for certain. So I invite you into a visualization, into a place to place yourself in the net and see if you can see yourself in relation to the net. After this, I'm going to be silent for a moment or two. If you can, picture this bejeweled net, like an intricate spider web covered with dew. Just do one more thing in your mind's eye. If you can picture this bejeweled net, sit with that. Picture this web lasting only for an instant. Then it blips out of existence, and in the next instance, it reappears. Only it isn't exactly the same as the previous moment. It is slightly different. In each moment, the whole is configured in a different way, and over time, over a series of blips, the net appears to be in motion, shimmering or undulating. And these shimmerings are people running, tides moving, comets soaring, grass growing, suns burning, rocks eroding, and in the people, there are emotions flowing, thoughts forming and passing, things remembered, things forgotten, and all of it is the cosmos in an ever-changing pulsation of becoming and ceasing, becoming and ceasing. This becoming, ceasing universe, better called a multiverse, is comprised of a multitude of these tiny jewels. Breathe. the pulsation of becoming and ceasing. Know that you are one of those tiny jewel drops. I love this particular view of reality because it affirms the individual and the whole, the universal and the particular. Indra's net is very much related to the notion of interbeing, the concept developed by the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. When was the first time that you experienced that you were connected with others? Whatever other that might be. The very first time that you can remember. People, other animals, the rest of nature. Do you feel a sense of belonging and love? Where do you feel most connected now? And at this moment? And at this time of your life? Most love, most belonging. There are implications to Indra's net, to belonging and love. If we take the net seriously, we know our place in the web and the place of other entities. And yet we know that there is a risk to love. My married couples may know that. You know there's a risk, right? Anyone who's partnered or anyone who's ever loved anybody knows that there's a risk. We risk heartbreak, challenge. We risk inconvenience. There's a story that spiritual teacher Ram Dass used to tell about a woman who was living in a large city. Every day, she encountered an unhoused man out in front of her apartment. And she admitted to feeling a little uncomfortable, not scared, but just a little uncomfortable. But she gave him money several times a week, and she actually had a budget for him. And at one point, she admitted never really looking at him because she knew if she did, he would end up living in her apartment with her. When we see that we belong to ourselves and each other, love is present. Daniel Day Williams, theologian, wrote, "Love does not put everything at rest. It puts everything in motion. Love does not end all risk. It accepts every risk, which is necessary for its work." In the beginning, there was love. You matter. All acts matter, large and small. What belonging, what love brought you here, called you here? We're not all necessarily called to do everything. There's the quote from the Talmud, which I will not be able to quote fully. We're not obliged to end all the suffering of the world, but just to do our part. Love might call us to dramatic and selfless acts, and it may call us to simple kindness. Where is love calling you this moment? And don't forget, beloveds, to love yourself. Like the image in the book, the girl seeing herself in the mirror. My prayer for you, my hope for you, is that when you look in other people's eyes, there is a person who reflects you back to you. In your uniqueness, your quirkiness, your beauty, all of who you are. I invite us to sing "There Is a Love" one more time, but let's be seated as we sing it. Jamie? In a time of great upheaval and uncertainty, it may seem audacious to suggest that we love extravagantly, but that is precisely what I'm doing. And no worries, this month, our theme is the gift of liberating love. So we have not exhausted love today, beloveds. There is more love somewhere, and it will be right here week after week as we celebrate and honor Dr. King and his audacious love, as we explore the gift of liberating love. And as the Buddhist group at the end of the month explores another kind of liberating love, y'all, we're not done with love. And love is not done with us. I share as I close words by Rachel Lamb. May you fall madly in love this year. In love with someone who unhinges your tired trajectory, in love with a spouse of several years who might be aching for lightning, in love with demanding children and relatives, in love with the particular pedigree of genius, insanity that has perhaps claimed you in spite of your reluctance, and certainly in love with an animal, a cloud, a redwood, the wild. These at least once a day. May you fall in love with the fragile jewel of this world, with hard work, with real learning, just causes, petitioning, and prayers. May you fall in love with wonder itself, with the grand mystery, with all that feeds you in order that you might live, and with the responsibility that it confers. May you fall in love with heartbreak and seeing how it is stitched into everything. May you fall in love with the natural order of things and with tears, tenderness, and humility. Beloveds, may this be a magnificent year for you. May you fall deeply, madly, hopelessly, inextinguishably in love. May you fall deeply, madly, hopelessly, inextinguishably in love. And with those words, we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of its truth, the warmth of this community, nor the fire of our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. So I promised a lot of love songs. So let's do it. I invite you to rise in body or spirit. And amen. Go in peace. Be makers of peace. Please join Join us for conversation and coffee.